Just, you will have the same amount of time. Please keep it respectful.
John Pulawski, 3 Jennison Street. The two pieces of information I wanted to share, I'm just going to get out quick. Then I'm going to ask a quick question. George Shenier last night in a Facebook post focused on Southbridge volunteered some information that I loved because it could shift all the blame to the state and take it away from both Casella and the town. You never heard me come up here putting down Casella. I'm a Christian. I've said if Jesus and the 12 apostles were up there, they couldn't stop contamination without miracles. It's not Casella. If the town was up there running the place, I'd probably be griping about the town. But what he had mentioned, there was an herbicide used. Now herbicides, I'm not saying it was Agent Orange, but these things Agent Orange had dioxin. And a lot of herbicides today also have dioxin. And I'm not a chemist, but it looks to me like dioxin and this 1,4-dioxane, they're not even close? Okay, because the state sprayed the area to kill trees. And if it possibly broke things down, because I don't buy this thing that could have been a tractor, it was buried a long time ago, but the state spraying in the last 15 years, to me, maybe things break down. You know, maybe there's a little chemistry that goes on. When you put all those chemicals in there and you mix them up, you get new chemicals that were never put in there. You know, I mean, it's just the nature of the big mixing bowl. So that you're shaking, maybe it's useless information. The other piece of information, we had that big old fire up there years ago. There was a lot of town fire departments. And when people talk about the fire, that's the one we tend to think of. But there was another fire shortly after that. And our Southbridge Fire Department didn't get too involved in it. They brought in a firefighting firm from California to put it out. And there's something in the telegram about our fire chief at the time reporting to our esteemed town council that they were closing that cell down. So although you were pointing out that there are certain cells, you know, I'm just an amateur, but when I ask myself, why would they shut a cell down? Because there's millions of dollars in revenue. I'm wondering, could the fire have, and they don't use water to put those hot fires out, they use things that are wetter than water and chemicals. Could one of those constituents possibly, so it may not be the unlined parts of the tank. And as we know from the testimony, from the site assignment, all liners leak anyway. Some of those single liners could be leaking, but specifically that fire, you may not have been informed of that. It's not something, it was only from a clever person who spends a lot of time doing research that was brought to my attention. But that might be worth looking into. And the question I want to leave you with, if you dump 4 billion pounds of contaminated soil and garbage on top of a water table, which is about what we have up there, give or take 1 billion pounds, could all that weight upon the water table possibly cause water to flow differently? Could that change the flow of the water in a way where water could possibly go uphill a bit because of all the weight? And that's all I wanted to ask right now, because I haven't read the entire report. Councilor Clements, thank you for your idea of letting us come back up and speak. That was very considerate of you. Thank you.
Either Mr. Murphy or Mr. Arps can answer that question in regards to the weight.
I would just say that all the work that's been done has been done under the current conditions. You know, what you're speaking of sounds like, you know, if you dropped a bowling ball in a bathtub, you'd have a wave that goes out. You know, this deposition has occurred at a very slow rate over many, many years. I can't think that would actually happen. And like I said, you know, the current study's been done under the current conditions. So if that was happening, we would see it.